Ron Paul has won first, second, and third place in every major poll out there. And then when he wins first, second, or third, they just won't mention his name. It's like, number 1 was this, number 3 was that, no mention of Ron Paul. We looked at a whole index of internet polls, scientific polls. He got first, second, or third in every one of them. But, as the Examiner shows right there, but even though he showed up in the top 3 candidates in the other scientific polls for last night's debate, it was the same thing. When the mainstream corporate whore media, the CIA, Washington Post, amply named The Fix is in, they listed Herman Cain, Newt Gingrich, and others. So, now, when I checked the poll, I think Newt Gingrich got, 2%? And Ron Paul's like 16 or something? I mean, the point is, there you go again. Same thing over and over again. Now, speaking of Ron Paul, I have tried to be deliberative. I have tried to deliberate on this Occupy America for the Soviet Union movement. I mean, Occupy for lazy homeless people movement. I mean, trendy, know-it-all, spoiled, rotten, snot-nosed kids running around telling you what to do. I'm sorry. Occupy Wall Street. But I'm done with them. Matt Medina in San Antonio has confirmed. They came up and said, no Alex Jones, no Ron Paul, shut up. I've confirmed it all over the country. I've confirmed it on video. And Darren McBreen's son, who is just a patriot, last week went down to Occupy Austin and was walking by with a Ron Paul sign, and the woman on the microphone, he didn't have a camera at the time, said, get out of here, no Ron Paul, the fellow reserve's not the problem. And so we keep getting these reports. And so I told Jacobson today, I said, go down there with your iPhone and see what happens. Jacobson shows up, and within 5 minutes, a guy shows up with a bunch of pizzas, giving them to the Occupy Austin people, probably about 50 folks down there. And I'm sorry, I looked at the video. They look like they got about 5 brain cells between 50 of them. And he goes down there, and this guy comes over and puts his arm around him and says, listen, this isn't a political movement. You know, your Ron Paul thing needs to go. And, of course, Jacobson blows up because he's not a wimp and says, I got free speech. And the guy's like, hey, go away. My name's this and that. I'm a Ron Paul supporter. Classic political stuff. Then there's weird audio of him going, I got $20. Who wants $20? The guy looks like a cop. All I know is that then I went and talked to McBreen, and I said, call your son. He double checked. He goes, no, it was a woman saying get out of there on the microphone. So my issue here is you're just walking by a city park. My tax money, your tax money paid for. And these guys come out, and in the case of McBreen's son, said just get out of here, period. You're not welcome. Same thing happened to Matt Medina down in San Antonio. These reports are coming in everywhere. And Rob should have played possum to let the guy fully explain himself. And the guy says his name. We bleeped it out in case he's using somebody else's name or in case he doesn't realize the ramifications of this. And Jacobson shot the video this way, so we had to flip it that way for the screen so it creates some jiggling effect. So it's hard to watch. But I'm giving the Occupy Austin people fair warning. I'm sending a bunch of people down there in Ron Paul outfits tomorrow and the next day, so we can really document what you're doing, because you're claiming we don't have a political movement, but get the rich people and march on Republican billionaire donors' houses in New York, and we want to get the 1%. Number one, the American people are 5% of the world's population. We have more than half the wealth, or right at half the wealth. So this is a very dangerous precedent. But we have confirmed that there's people handing free food out and money to people, and they don't want Ron Paul there. They say they don't want to be political, but they're basically pushing Democratic White House talking points. So here's that video.
I'm voting for Ron Paul too. Hey, this is not a political movement.
Yes, this is, sir. I was just saying, I think it is, because Ron Paul represents ending the Fed.
He sure does.
And ending the Fed, well, in my belief, in my head,
if you want to record this, my name is David, and I'm voting for Ron Paul. This is not about Ron Paul.
I think it is. Why
I'm just letting you know.
All right, well, I'm here, and I think it is. My opinion is just as good as yours. Thank you. And I deserve my freedom of speech.
If you want to be a to me, I'll promise you I'll be a to you.
Go for it, man. Are you threatening me?
Are
you threatening me, sir?
If I was threatening you, you'd know it. I brought all this pizzas for you to eat. Okay? You bought all the pizzas for us?
Is that where'd you get the money from, man?
I paid for the pizzas. I brought them over. Don't treat me like some okay?
You're the one asking me not to speak. I'm not the other way around.
Hit pause. My idea of hell would be 10 trillion years in a park with hippies crapping all over the place and having sex with each other like they're doing up in New York City, with people bringing them free pizza and stuff, and then them all ninnying over if you get a piece of pizza or whatever, because the guy's like, I'm the one that brought the pizza. And then he goes into this clip of, I got $20, who wants $20? Again, my issue here is that we have confirmed all over the country there's one thing that's not allowed anywhere near these things, and that's Ron Paul, because he actually identifies the real threat. And that tells you all you need to know about Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Austin, Occupy whatever, is that the grassroots may be good, but I've got another article here. Occupy LA speaker, violence will be necessary to achieve our goals. And you go talk to them, they're leftists who want me to turn my guns in so they can have their violence against me. Turn your gun in. We're coming with ours. Everything's great. Finish up with Jacobson's clip where the guy's in the background talking about, I got $20. Who wants $20? And again, this happened to McBreen's son. It happened back when they went back out there with the daughter. I'm sending them all out there tomorrow. And I told McBreen, who's out there right now, I told him, I said, play possum. I'm giving them fair warning. So we're just going to sit there and take it and see what they say, because they're like, you don't walk by a city park around here. You understand? We're Occupy Wall Street. Obama, baby. Let's finish up the clip.
We could use $20 right now. All right. We'll put it in the donation box. You got a donation box. Hey, thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Thanks, Dan.
Enjoy the pizza.
Thanks for the pizza. I mean, we just brought it. We didn't pay for it. Thanks for bringing it, man. We love you.
Well, there's a view into hell. A bunch of misguided people calling for collectivism. That's what they're nationally doing, with some guy saying, he got a Ron Paul sign. This isn't political. God almighty, I just can't even believe this. How far does this have to go? So we're coming down there, and we're calling for true constitutionalists to go to all these events, as Kokesh did up in D.C., and he was told, you don't even videotape the city park. This city park is ours. America is ours. We're liberal. No freedom. Everybody's like, oh, my God, you're God. You are king. Soviet Union. October Red Scare. Take over. All right. I'm looking at Jacobson out there right now. Jacobson, I can't believe you even tried to be in the level of these people. You were up there with like St. Michael flapping around in heaven. Like, let's document cam shot from up there right through the Skynet news system. There is Jacobson. Jacobson, come in here behind me with your Ron Paul shirt. This was just hours ago that a thought criminal, and again, I say, within 5 minutes he was told, boy, this ain't political. This is nothing but a cutout for Obama, basically. But I like Ron Paul. Here, show folks your shirt.
Right, here we go. Whoop.
Get over here. Let's just get that out of there. Look at the evil. I mean,
there it is.
everywhere this is decried. Republicans, Democrats, mainline media, they hate it. Now, Rob, obviously, you turn the camera on quickly because they attack so quickly you didn't know. But McBreen said his son, they were on the speaker saying, get out of here, even as he walked by on the sidewalk. You don't walk in America on a sidewalk with Ron Paul because they're so into democracy.
There were very few people there, Alex. I didn't even expect to see it, and the guy walked up to me within like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, just putting his arm around me.
So what's the talking point by the folks that bring the money and the free pizza? It reminds me of when I caught that guy paying off the black guys to testify against the Second Amendment.
It's the same thing.
You ever seen that footage?
Yeah.
Here's some pizza, here's some money.
He's the nice guy. He's
like,
guy.
and let me come here. Let me tell you, it's
advice.
like, get out of here right now, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But here's some pizza. Here's a little.
You can do that to me if you want. Get out of here. Get out of here.
You're a good guy. All right.
Let me tell you, you know, we don't want you to be in the river. Oh, Jacobson, anything else?
It was no shock to. It was no shock that this guy came up to me. I mean, with such few people, you wouldn't expect.
But you said you said you were there about 4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes.
But see, if you'd have groveled, you'd have got the full story. I understand.
Yeah.
You're like, immediately, no, buddy, I'll do what I want.
Right.
But I mean, if you'd have just like, oh,
it was just
help me, I'm weak.
It was just so impulsive, you know. The guy's like, you can't speak here. It's not a political event. All I see are political signs left and right of me. Ron Paul, I was like, well, who are you to tell me, you know? That was my instinctual.
But Herman Cain says it's ridiculous.
I know.
He never attacked Ron Paul.
If I showed up with a Herman Cain shirt, they probably would have, you know, fanned me in, lifted me up.
Maybe not. Obama, yes. Yeah. Well, Rob, listen, we've got to send our people all over the country to show this. Because it's like a vampire to a cross when they see this thing.
And it wasn't very difficult. The guy actually split. I was there for another 45 minutes. I couldn't find him in a very thin...
But I like to, put the arm around. Let me tell you, you know, you may want to...
He was my friend. He was my buddy at that point. And he was just telling me how... they deal with political messages.
Well, no, they just want to show a bunch of folks bitching about capitalism and Wall Street instead of crony inside monopolists. And so it's like, listen, this is a cutout to project what we want on it. Get out of here. Don't actually bring a political goal. People keep asking, where's the goal? The goal is just to get everybody fighting with each other.
Right, and I think there are a lot of people there with a goal, but what they project to people is there's no goal. It's a big backdrop. It's a big set for TV. They got their guys in there. They make a message. They tell people to get out of there.
But it's everywhere in the country. They say, Ron Paul people, get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a talking point.
I think what they're doing...
It's no matter where you go in the country, it's a guy shows up and says...
I think what they're doing is they're creating a set... And they use the people as a backdrop. They project their messages, you know.
I can't believe. Listen. Admit you're an extremist. You tried to walk around in downtown Austin with a Ron Paul shirt.
It's crazy, man. I know.
What do you think, this is America?
I know. Support the guy who I want to vote for. You know, he's only like one of the most major political candidates going right now. I mean, who am I to
this is
T-shirt with the guy who I support? You know,
and he does represent Texas. That's our state rep here.
It's true. I mean, what was I thinking? And I'm glad
he's our congressional representative for Texas.
Glad that man showed up and put his arm around me. And
well, you've seen Jacobson. I'm going to apologize even having you here. Listen, I think that guy was right. Get out of here.
All right, I'll.
Yeah, just get out of here. Yeah, don't show that around here. Well, we're going back down there tomorrow. And how about Ron Paul supporters, First Amendment supporters, constitutionalists show up en masse tomorrow, 3 o'clock tomorrow, down there, and just say, look, this isn't Mao Zedong's party. This isn't Pol Pot's party. This isn't Alois Hitler's party. This is America's party, and we're going to talk about real issues. What about Che Guevara? He would tell Rob to get out of there.